Yo, what up everybody, Ari here, and in this video, I'm going to be telling you the story of a successful Shopify store that went from 0 to 800K a month, and really they did it with only one product. Now the store that I'm talking about is called Manta Sleep or Manta Sleep. It's kind of like a manta ray or whatever, you know, like the stingrays, and as you can see, they're trying to solve one of the biggest pain points out there, which is getting bad sleep. They're trying to make sure that you're getting good sleep every single night. Definitely a good cause. And as you can see, yes, they have multiple product variations now, but it all stemmed from this one product. So I'm still going to consider this a one product store, even though sure, now they have a bunch of products, but they started off with one product. Now there's a whole story here about this. So let's see here. Hello, who are you and what business did you start? I am the CEO and co-founder of Manta Sleep, the only mask designed, constructed, and optimized for deepest possible sleep in any environment. Manta Sleep masks provide 100% blackout for maximized sleep quality, so users feel 100% all the time. Just a pinprick of light can disrupt REM and deep sleep, leading to post-sleep tiredness. That's why Manta perfectly covers and conforms to the eyes to block 100% of the light, even in broad daylight, so users always get deep, uninterrupted sleep. That's a really good elevator pitch right there. I really think that's good. But here's the most interesting part. What's your backstory and how did you come up with this idea? So he says, I've been a light sleeper for as long as I could remember, and I started using a sleep mask when I was 15 years old. The problem with generic sleep masks is that they are either uncomfortable, don't block out the light, or fall apart after 3 months. And I always thought we could build a better product. So my business partner and I started Manta Sleep, launching our sleep mask by crowdfunding via Kickstarter and Indiegogo. We ended up raising $700K to start the company. That is crazy, guys. This is one thing that I feel like nobody in this dropshipping space ever talks about, but crowdfunding is not a bad idea if you have a good idea. It's not going to cost you really anything, and you could get a lot of funding for your business that's really going to help you out. So this is going to be some good value right here for those of you that are in that situation where you want to start a brand, you don't necessarily want to drop ship, you have a good idea for your product. So take us through the process of designing, prototyping, and manufacturing your first product. The first thing we did was market research. That's what your boy here helps you with a little bit. We bought most of the sleep masks on the market and studied their strengths and weaknesses, as well as looked at online reviews. I also have been using sleep masks for the last 15 years of my life, so I had a pretty good idea of what we wanted to improve on. At this stage, we didn't know what the final product was going to look like yet, but we did have a set of goals we wanted to achieve with Manta Sleep. For example, 100% blackout, luxurious materials, and fits all types of faces. So this is basically what they put together, and I'm pretty sure this is probably what they presented on Indiegogo and Kickstarter. The next stage is where I had luck. My business partner is an industrial designer, so he drew things, made things, and generally just experimented with the designs for us to play around with. If you do not have an industrial designer, co-founder, or team member, what I would suggest is to work with a design agency or fly to wherever your manufacturer is and work directly with the factory. The latter option works pretty well if you were just getting started. Here's something kind of interesting. He said we spent $50,000 on Facebook ads to drive traffic profitability to the crowdfunding campaign. Paid traffic is critical for crowdfunding because it's much more reliable and consistent compared to something like PR, which is press releases. This is really interesting right here, guys. I actually never thought about that too much, but I could see, for example, now running traffic through TikTok, that would be even more effective. That would be like Facebook back in 2018, 2019. So this is a really good idea. Here's an interesting question. What platforms, tools do you use for your business? So they use Notion to organize stuff, Asana for project management, and Zoom for team meetings. Very simple. I love that. And lastly, advice for other entrepreneurs who want to get started or are just starting. First, know your why. You've got to have grit and persistence to bring ideas to life. Whether it's money, passion, belief in something, etc., whatever it is, you have to know your why because that's going to carry you through all the difficulties of bringing something to life. Number 2, break a big goal into smaller goals and celebrate those successes at the smaller goal level. Big ideas can be challenging and intimidating, so we all get overwhelmed sometimes. But by breaking the big goal into many smaller pieces, it's much easier to tackle and keep track. We tend to overestimate what we can do in a day and underestimate what we can do in a year. That's a fire quote right there. Number 3, mistakes will be made, and mistakes are a necessary part of everyone's learning process. If you can't handle your people making mistakes, you'll never be able to delegate effectively, and they will feel as if they don't have ownership or control of the process. When everything is done well, then you have amazing people with accountability doing work better than you, as the entrepreneur/CEO could ever do. This then frees up your time to focus on higher level strategy and vision, which is what you're supposed to do sitting in the CEO seat. Finally, you've got to be accountable. Some people are good at doing this all by themselves, others are not. If you're not, hire a coach or pay a friend to make sure they keep you accountable. That's good stuff right there. Honestly, I can relate to what he's talking about here, even though my business is not doing 800K a month yet. I do feel like most of my time is focused on recruiting, high-level strategy for growth, while my COO is the one in charge of the day-to-day operations. So super cool stuff. I mean, this brand is not huge on Instagram. They barely get any engagement on here, but they've put out a pretty good brand image. However, they're still driving a ton of Facebook ads. So they got started with Facebook ads and they're still running a ton of Facebook ads, which just goes to show, guys, Facebook ads are not dead by any means. In fact, they're still good. I mean, I think every brand should be running Facebook ads. However, there are other avenues like TikTok now that could be really promising for your business. And yeah, that's basically all I have for today, guys. Just a little bit of an inspirational story for you. I think there was a lot of value to be taken away from this story, especially with the Indiegogo stuff and crowdfunding. That's stuff that we never really think about, but they are options that you can utilize to kickstart your business. So I hope you learned something. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. As always, make sure you check out some of the links in the description to support the channel, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.